Okay, well, thank you very much and welcome everyone to the webinar this afternoon to hear more about the SBA programs and services. And I hope you can see the presentation here. Hope everyone has been able to upload it. And if people need a copy of it later on, just let me know and I'll be happy to send it to you. Whenever I prepare these presentations, I always put myself in the shoes of the people who are coming to listen to our presentations and want to know what the SBA can do for them. So I have this question here. What can I expect from the SBA if I want to start and grow a business? And the answer is you can expect a few things. And the most important thing is that I want you to take with you is that you can expect the SBA to be your partner. And this partner, you don't have to share the profits with. You don't have to share a portion of your business, right, David? Mm-hmm. But we can be your partner in every step of the way. So how can we do that? We can do that through our management and technical assistance programs, or access to capital loan programs, government contracting, disaster relief, and advocacy. That's how we can be your partner. And today we're going to discuss the first four. Disaster relief, I'll tell you a little bit about that. And advocacy, well, you already know that we are the agency that represents the interest of businesses in front of government to create a more friendly environment for you to function. In terms of management assistance, the SBA has a number of resource partners that can help you with training, with counseling, with workshops on many different topics. You can sign up to receive our calendar so that you can see the topics that we cover from our resource partners, from SCORE, from the SBDCs, and from the Women Business Centers. The Santa Ana District Office here services Orange County, San Bernardino, and Riverside. And today, where you have the ability to listen to us on a webinar, so we really can be even international to offer you our programs and services. The SCORE chapter, they have several locations throughout Orange County, San Bernardino, and Riverside. The Small Business Development Center, they have several offices in Orange County. In the Inland Empire, they have several offices as well. And I'll give you the telephone numbers later on as we move on through the presentation. You can see the telephone numbers and the websites. And the same thing with the Women Business Centers. Right now, the center in Orange County is closed, but we have the centers in the Inland Empire. And here is the slide that tells you where the Women Business Centers are located in the Inland Empire and the telephone number. If you want more information about them, you can log on to our website and then click on their individual locations to find out how close they are to you or to schedule an appointment. The SBDCs, like I was mentioning, we have a few throughout our county. They're located in the Inland Empire, Ontario, and Riverside, Coachella Valley, the High Desert, Orange County. We have the SBDC at Octane and the TriTech Small Business Development Center located in Irvine, Riverside, and Corona. The SCORE chapters, they're located throughout our county in Orange County. Here is the telephone number, 714-550-7439, so that you can schedule an appointment and come and see a counselor, free of charge. Coachella Valley, and Riverside. There are the telephone numbers. The reason why I say that the SBA should be your business partner is because every successful business that I come across, they share with me that they have had counselors, either at SCORE, the Women Business Centers, or the Small Business Development Centers. You can establish a relationship with the counselor that has a specialty in your business and keep in touch with them throughout the life of your business. Some people have had coaches for 10 years to grow their business. I think that's really fantastic. They can help you stay on track and stay focused on the business. For example, I always like to share testimonies about what people tell me their experiences are with the counselors, because I think instead of me just giving you statistics and all kinds of just data, testimonies, they really speak for the experience that people have. For example, they tell me that they consider themselves stepchildren of the SBA because they started receiving assistance with a counselor, then they received assistance to prepare for a loan, and then they prepared for government contracting until they grew their business. For those of you that are starting a business or do not have time during the day to access our website, it's available 24/7 at sba.gov training, and you can take a look at the different topics that we cover and the different trainings that we have available for you, whether you are starting a business or you're looking to grow the business or do business with the government. The SBA Access to Capital Loan Program has several different loans, and as you can see here, we guarantee the loans to the banks and to other organizations like certified development companies. We do not lend directly. In fact, the only loans that the SBA makes directly are the disaster loans. Otherwise, you have to go to the lenders. We use the credit criteria of the lenders to evaluate the capability of the borrower to secure a loan. I wanted to share with you the latest figures that came out of our district office. In 2013, the SBA guaranteed over $1.3 billion in our region, which covers Orange County, San Bernardino, and Riverside. I think that's really great, David, don't you think?
Yeah. Something else.
Our SBA Access to Capital Loan Program consists of 11 different loans. The 7A Guarantee Loan Program, the CDC 504 Loan Program, Patriot Express, Small Loan Advantage, Community Advantage, Cap Line for short-term or revolving lines of credit, working capital, contracts, or seasonal kind of businesses that need access to capital, for example, when they want to increase their inventory or throughout the year when they need to finance a particular contract. For those of you that have a product or service that you want to export, we have 2 or 3 international trade loan programs. And the guarantee from the banks, from the SBA to the banks to promote this loan program is 90%. And this is the International Trade Loan Program and the Working Capital Loan Program. We also have microloans for those of you that are starting a business and do not need a lot of money, but you need some working capital. And here are more details about the 7A Guarantee Loan Program. Right now, The maximum amount of the loan programs is $5 million. The guarantee of the SBA is up to $3.75 million. And here are the different percentages according to the different amounts. This might not make a difference to the borrower at this point, but it's information that you should have when you go to a lender. You can be aware that the SBA guarantees the loan to the bank up to 85% or 75%. And the reason is so that the banks are more encouraged to lend to small business. And like it says here, it may vary with the loan program. For example, like I just mentioned, the international trade loan programs have a guarantee of up to 90%. We also have a program to help veterans, not only with management and technical assistance, but we also have a loan program that helps veterans and their families to have access to capital. And the Patriot Express loan program is one of them. The loan amount goes up to $500,000, but it can start at $50,000 as well, depending on what people are looking for. This is one good loan program because it's available to veterans and also their spouses and close family members. Then we have another one of our loan programs, the 504. The difference between the 7A loan program and the 504 is that the 7A loan program is a general purpose loan that people can use to have additional working capital, to finance debt, to purchase machinery and equipment. But the more specific one to purchase machinery and equipment is the 504 loan program. The limit is also $5 million. And people can use this loan to purchase machinery, equipment, and real estate. The purpose of our loan programs are for economic development, and they have the flexibility of offering the borrower extended maturities and reasonable interest rates. Now, what can we use the loan proceeds for? And here you have some of the options: purchase machinery and equipment, working capital, leasehold improvements, receivables, inventory, refinancing debt, acquisition, remodeling, construction, and also if you want to purchase a franchise, you can also use the SBA loan program. And what is the eligibility? People always wonder if they are small enough to qualify for the SBA loan program. And if you have any doubt, for example, you can go on to our website to check the size standards of our that we have from the SBA. But I'll just give you some idea so that you don't have to try to figure out whether you qualify for an SBA loan. For example, the size standards are very generous for business in manufacturing. They can have from 500 to 1,500 employees. If businesses are in the service industry, they can be generating up to $35.5 million a year and still be considered a small business. So if you think you're a small business, I have the feeling that you will qualify for an SBA loan. Okay, you need to be a business that operates for profit, be located in the U.S., and that you are unable to secure financing through the regular commercial means, or that you can demonstrate that you can benefit from the SBA loan programs, extended maturities, and reasonable interest rates, and you're going to be hiring employees, I think a conversation with your counselor or a coach from one of our resource partners can help you prepare for to meet with the lender and to be able to answer the right questions. What kind of credit criteria is the bank looking for? People ask me when we have these presentations on access to capital. Well, the bank wants to know that you have the revenue or enough revenue to make the monthly payments. They also want to see that you have commitment in the business. What does that mean, commitment? Well, you have to be willing to invest in your own business. Some banks will ask you to invest between 10% and 30%. And they say, well, I already opened my business and I invested a lot of money, and now how can I invest more money if the bank asks me to have 10 or 30%? Well, if you open your business and you already invested in machinery, equipment, your website, and some marketing, do a reconciliation of these expenses. And you can demonstrate to the bank that you are willing to invest in your business, and you can show the amount of money that you have already invested. You need to show this to the bank, and then you can apply for a loan for the rest of the amount that you have estimated that you need for the business. In this particular case, we recommend that the business owner has projections so that you can show the bank how you're going to use the money, how it's going to improve your business, your inventory. You're going to hire employees, you're going to remodel your business, you're going to either improve your product so that you can be more competitive. These are some of the things that you can write in your business plan. Even if you have an existing business, it's a good idea to have a business plan. If you have an existing business, the lender will want to see your financial statements for the past 3 years. But it's also a good idea to have a business plan, and you can show the bank how the loan is going to help you. In terms of character, this is demonstrated with your credit score. Also, the experience that you have in the industry, you can talk about that, your career, and all that can be demonstrated in the business plan. It's very important to have one. You'll be surprised how many people we talk to every time we have a presentation. I just had one presentation yesterday with the Board of Equalization. I asked people, how many of you have a business plan? And a lot of the people who come to these seminars with the Board of Equalization, they have existing businesses, but they do not have a business plan. We really recommend it. It's the roadmap to success to take your business to the next level. Collateral. It's important to have collateral to guarantee the loan. Some people call me and they tell me they want to apply for an SBA loan, but there's no way that they're going to pledge the collateral that they have, either their real estate or machinery or equipment. They say, I don't want to risk my collateral. And so I have to have a conversation with them and ask them, well, do you want the bank to guarantee your loan for 100%? Why would they do that? If you're not willing to take a risk on your own business, right, David? Why would they want the bank? The bank is, like we say, they're not goodwill institutions. They're for-profit institutions, and they want to see that the borrower is willing to pledge their own collateral. Repayment ability. The SBA is not just a collateral lender or a credit lender. The SBA really wants to see that the business has the capacity to make the monthly payments. I always tell people I can sit here and talk about debt ratios, credit ratios, and sound very sophisticated about the numbers here and the numbers there, but basically the bank wants to see the margin, the difference between expenses and revenue. Can you afford the monthly payment every month for this loan? Hopefully you're not overextended in your current business, and if you are, I would like to mention to you that it is not impossible to secure an SBA loan if you come and talk to one of our resource partners like SCORE, the Women Business Centers, the Small Business Development Centers, and you get on a plan to be bankable. Very, very simple. You can establish a plan to either try to qualify for a loan in 3 months, in 6 months, so that you can grow your business. It's important to have a plan so that when you go to the lender, you are prepared and you increase your possibilities of securing a loan. Now, how much money do you need to start a business? I always like to share the stories of the people that call me and they tell me that they need the maximum amount. When it was $2 million, people tell me that's how much I need. Now that it is $5 million, people tell me I'd like to apply for a loan and I understand the limit is $5 million. That's how much I want. That's how much I would need to grow my business. So then I have to start the conversation over and I say, okay, do you really know what the monthly payment is of a loan that is $5 million? Let's start again. So the business owner needs to have an idea, especially if you're starting a business, how much the attorney costs are going to be, have an estimate of the machinery, equipment, and the real estate, how much the lease is going to cost you, utilities, phone, advertising, inventory, and the salaries of the employments, including yourself, for 6 months to a year. And I understand that there's some locations, like at the Irvine, in the Irvine area, where the landlord wants a down payment or the security that you're going to be able to pay rent for at least a year and a half, right? So that means that the business owner needs to do the homework and find out what the requirements are to do business in different areas. In some areas, the landlord would only ask you for the first 3 months of rent. In some other areas, they would ask you for maybe 6 months. In this particular case, here in Irvine, in some locations, the landlord wants to see a year and a half. You also need to have emergency funds because I tell people, it is just as exciting to open a business as it is sad and discouraging to have to close a business because you don't have the resources or the right amount of money. A lot of businesses really end up closing down because they did not plan ahead of time and they did not have enough money to keep the business open through the different cycles. So that's why we tell people sometimes when we have seminars, if you want to open a business, don't rush, make plans, and if it takes you a year, 2 years, or up to 3 years to open a business, well, let it be that long so that you can be prepared and you don't end up losing the smaller amount of money that you had, but it was not enough to really keep the business growing after 6 months. It's better to save the money and open the business when you're ready and you can actually take it to the next level as opposed to having to close down the business because you were not ready to open when you decided to start this business. I prepared a list of questions that people should ask themselves when they're starting to think about starting a business. And I think that some of them are good even for people who are starting to think about growing their business and taking it to the next level. For example, it's very important to diversify. And before the recession started, I talked to a number of people that were very successful during the recession. They mentioned to me that one of the reasons why they were able to survive the recession is because they diversified. They followed the advice of their counselors, and they had some products in the company or services that they knew they could deliver. They were not in demand before the recession, but then they knew they had them, and the personnel was ready to take on this product if they needed to. And a lot of people, a few businesses told me that they were able to survive the recession because they were able to tap into that product or service that they had diversified into, but it was not a hot item before the recession. So that is just one tip that I have for you in case you're thinking about starting a business. Maybe you already started, and you're wondering how many services your company can provide. But here are 10 things that I recommend to people to consider when they're thinking of starting a business. Are you sure you want to start a business, and are you sure you enjoy doing this kind of business that you're thinking about starting? What type of business do you want? Do you want to be a sole proprietor? Do you want to have a partnership, corporation, or LLC? I also recommend to people to do an evaluation of their situation, not just financially, but emotionally and also time-wise. Are you emotionally ready to start a business? Do you have enough time to dedicate to this new business? Businesses take up a lot of time and commitment, and sometimes people are not ready to start. They want a business, but they're not ready to start the business because they don't have the right family situation. And that's as important as maybe even more important than having the right amount of money, because if you start the business and you don't have a good team to help you run the business, it's just as bad as not having enough money. It could be very costly. I have seen it in many situations where people call me and they tell me how they started a business and they relied on other people to get it going because they did not have enough time. And then it turns out that the other people did not have the commitment that they needed to have to run the business. Also, how much money do you need? We went through some of these questions before. This should be part of your 10 questions. Okay, on number 5, do you want to start a new business or buy an existing business? Some people have enough money to buy a franchise, and this is also a very good idea. Do you have experience in the industry? Do you know something about it? And here is my question on the team. Who is going to work with you in this business? Are they qualified? Do you have enough money to pay them? Are they going to be able to take ownership of the business the way you want to?
That's a good question.
I put these questions together, David, based on conversations that I have on a regular basis with people who call me seeking advice on how to grow the business. And so when I was thinking about this presentation, I thought, well, let me include some questions that I get regularly on the phone, and I see how people are either struggling or need to close a business because they were not ready with some of these questions. Let's move on to the 9th. I recommend that you contact the SBA sooner than later, right? It will be better. And I definitely recommend that you have a business plan. If you do not know how to prepare a business plan, again, I recommend that you contact our women business centers if they're close to you, SCORE, or the small business development centers. Attend one of their workshops. They got short workshops, like for about an hour, but they also have long workshops, up to 3 hours, so that you can walk away with almost your business plan prepared. This gives you a good direction on the business, but also if you need financing, it's a good idea to have one. Now moving on to the next slide about government contracting. I understand that a few weeks ago here at the Irvine Chamber, one of my colleagues gave a presentation on government contracting. So I'm going to touch briefly on this topic since we have a few more minutes, right, David? How many more minutes do we have?
We're going to 1 o'clock.
Oh, we have until 1 o'clock. Okay, so then we can allow some time for question and answer. On government contracting, this is a good opportunity for people to consider if they want to grow a business. For example, I talked about having loans for international trade. If you have a product or service that you can export, chances are you can also sell to the government this product or service. And it should be part of your marketing plan. For example, why government contracting? Why do I want to do business with the government? Don't they require a lot of paperwork? Don't I have to really go through a lot? I mean, do I really want to do business with the government? Well, it's one opportunity for you to increase your revenue. The government ensures through government contracting and procurement opportunities that small businesses receive a fair share of government contracts. The agencies receive a budget to purchase goods and services, and out of this budget, they should spend about 23% in small business. The Santa Ana District Office recorded more than $45 million to participants in the 8A program. And that's a good amount of money, pretty substantial, going to the participants of the 8A program. And right now we have a portfolio of over 100 companies. I think if I were a small business, I would like to receive a contract for $500,000, $200,000, $100,000. You never know. It would be a good part of my revenue. So how do you get started in doing business with the government? If you are ready, if you've been in business for 2 years and you have a product or service that you think the government is buying, I will recommend that you register your business in SAM.gov. This is a database where small businesses can register. You can enter there the name of your company and your profile. And more than anything, you need to complete the industry codes that you specialize in, so that when procurement officers go to the website and to this database and try to find business owners that can supply this product or service, they can find you. If you are not ready to go directly to the federal government because you think you're not big enough, you're not ready to supply the quantities that they're looking for, maybe you want to start doing business with prime contractors and subcontractors. I'm going to refer you to our website to check out these databases and register to do business with these two entities, prime contractors and subcontractors. If you've been in business for over 2 years and you have a product or service that you know the government is buying and you want to be part of the 8A program, you can come to one of our workshops. We have monthly workshops at the Santa Ana District Office, and we also have webinars that guide you through the process of getting ready to sign up for the 8A program and get into this 9-year program where you receive business development assistance, and you receive also the opportunity to meet with procurement officers. We have conferences called Doing Business with the Government, and we gather procurement and purchasing agents from different agencies around the area, like GSA, military bases, and other government agencies, and they come to conferences and they are matched with potential business owners, and they have like a speed dating kind of meeting, so the business owner has the opportunity to introduce themselves and tell them how good they are doing and how much the government could benefit if they buy from them. And also there is a Hubzone program for those companies that are looking to relocate or they are located in an area that has been designated as a Hubzone. And if you they're set aside contracts if you are in the Hubzone program. So what are the requirements to do business with the government? You should be in business for at least 2 years, and you should be financially sound. It's important that you have the necessary revenue to finance some of the contracts or start working on a particular contract when you receive it, in case the government or this particular bidding opportunity does not give you a down payment. So it'll be a very good idea for you to have access to capital or to have a line of credit. And I mentioned some of the loan programs that we have, like the CAP line program, which will give you the opportunity to finance some of these contracts if you come across them. It's important to register in the different databases that the government has, either with SAM.gov, the prime contractors, subcontractors, and the other one is FedBizOp, Federal Business Opportunities. That way you are in the databases that the government has, and the procurement officers can find you. The products and services that the SBA provides, like the counseling, they're free. Coming to the workshops on how to do business with the government, they're free. Our resource partners provide the free counseling and technical assistance. Some of the workshops are at very low cost. And some people ask me, well, you guys provide all this for free? Why? Why would you do that? And they don't believe that we provide very quality services, very quality workshops. And so why does the SBA do this? What do we want in return? We want our companies to create jobs. We want our companies to export. If you remember, the president has an export initiative where they would like to double their exports in the next 5 years. We are, I think, in 2 years into this, 2 or 3 years into this initiative, and a lot of states are increasing their exports thanks to the initiative and the programs that we have. For example, we have the Export Trade Assistance Partnership Program that our office holds throughout the county, in Orange County, San Bernardino, and Riverside, which consists of several workshops to prepare people to export. The economic impact, well, it comes in terms of growing the company, hiring employees, doing business with the government, and investing the money back into the communities. Because the government and all of us want prosperous communities, and that is one of our goals. We have, we also, what else do we want? Why does the SBA do this? Well, we would like your commitment. If you're interested in growing a business, we'd like you to be serious when you schedule an appointment with with our resource partners at SCORE, Small Business Development Center, or the SBDCs. We want you to keep your commitment and go to the classes and keep your commitment to go for counseling. And give us some feedback so that we can improve the services that we are providing. In other words, the SBA wants to be your resource partner. And remember, you don't have to share your company equity with us. It's the services have been provided already through the monies that are allocated to the SBA. The SBA is a federal government agency. We're not an association where you need to pay for membership. If you like to receive our calendar or you want to have access to our services, you do not need to be a member. All you have to do is register, give us your email so that you can receive our emails about events or calendar or invitations to conferences that we participate throughout the county on a regular basis. Let's see. So let's move on to what else do we have here for you? Here is my contact information, my email, my telephone number, and where we are located, so that you can get in touch with me in case I didn't answer a particular question that you have, or you can go ahead and email it to us. I think we have some time to answer some questions. It could be either about government contracting, it could be about the SBA loans, or
so good.
Any
Sylvia,
other questions that you have about our services? Yes, Robert.
it's time to open up for questions, and I would like to point out to you that in the audience that we typically mute people so that it's hard to speak up and ask questions. We do have a chat window that's open if you'd like to type a question into that. And Sylvia, I'll actually ask a question. As a business advisor, I know of a number of companies that have worked with the SBA. Let's get back to the collateral question for a moment.
Yes.
To what extent, from your experience of working with banks and working with others, let's say a house and they're borrowing money from a bank for their business, to what extent would you say that your experience has been that the loan is 100% collateralized by the borrower, or the bank or other party takes some amount of risk on?
Well, when the SBA used to process loans, I remember seeing that the SBA wants to have the first lien on the collateral. On some situations, they'll accept the second lien, but they also accept as collateral machinery and equipment, or maybe a 401k or life insurance. But the loans usually have to be 100% collateralized, either with the house or part of the business.